Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to give you some of my reading stats for 2017. Now, I'm not really great with stats, but I thought this would be a fun video to share just a few things that I noticed in terms of reading trends for myself last year. In 2017, I set my Goodreads reading challenge to 52 books. That's a standard reading challenge for me now. I've set it for 52 books for the last 2 years and I've set it for 52 this year. It's not really so much about the number as reminding me to read every week, and that makes it a useful goal for me. I tend to go over it, but that doesn't really matter. The point is that I'm reading. So in 2017, I read 266 books. I also read a total of approximately 82,400 pages. Most of the authors that I read were female, quite significantly so. I also read a portion of male authors, a smaller portion that included both male and female authors, and there were a couple of non-binary books as well. There were similar results for the gender of the main protagonists in each story. Again, more female protagonists, less males, but there was also a combination of ensemble casts as well. I acquired a stupid number of books. I can't even remember what the total was, but they were from a stack of different genres. I do tend to read quite widely, so it makes sense that I tend to pick up books in different genres. I also break things down quite specifically, and this year I probably won't be breaking them down as specifically as I did in 2017. My top 3 reading genres for 2017 were fantasy, science fiction, and then contemporary. The contemporary one really surprised me because previously to 2017, I wasn't really a big contemporary reader, and it's still not my preferred genre. Science fiction is, which is why I'm surprised I read more fantasy, but I was reading a lot of series last year. Most of the books that I read are trade paperbacks because that's the preferred format here in Australia. However, I did also pick up quite a few hardcover books, a few digital ebooks, and other special formats as well. Overall, I primarily read novels. There were a few short story collections, there were a few novellas and whatnot thrown in there, but overwhelmingly it was novels, and the average page length for those novels was between about 300 and 399 pages, which is about average anyway, so it makes sense that that is the highest proportion. The shortest book that I read in 2017 was Burned by Sophie Carlin. It's only about 30 pages long, and the longest book that I read was The 12 by Justin Cronin, and this is about 740 pages long. The majority of the books that I read last year were published between 2010 and 2016. Then the second highest rating were new releases published in 2017. I did read one book that was set pre-1900s, which was Teens by Louise Mack. So that was the oldest book that I read. And yeah, 2017, there were plenty of new releases. The graph for how many books I read per month is a little bit skewed. January didn't record properly in it. However, I read about 29 books in January last year. My best reading month was July. There were over 30 books that I read that particular month. But if you have a look, all of the months where I read significantly more than other months are generally around school holidays because I get 2 weeks off and I spend a lot of that time reading. In terms of countries where books are set, primarily most of the books are set either in the United States, or if they're set in space, they're written by American authors, so that is the largest portion of books by country. However, the second largest was in Australia, and that's because I prioritize reading a lot of either Australian literary fiction or Australian young adult fiction because of Lovers YA. So it's getting better. I would like to add more countries to the list for next year, but we'll see. So those were some of my reading stats for 2017. Let me know in the comments, what was a reading stat that you learned about yourself in 2017 that really surprised you, or something that you were really proud of? I would love to know. I should probably try and even out my male and female author ratio. Although that said, I like the female authors that I read. So I don't know, we'll see how I go in 2018. And I'll also be trying to read books set in different countries. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. See you later, guys.